This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturiser was good for your skin.
About 1,000 men's inside of you today.
Yeah.
What hurts more, your mouth or your...
Probably down there a little bit. I don't need a wheelchair, like I am fine.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm up because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
Is because when secularization has done the damage that it is going to do, it will produce a generation without a sense of shame.
Hello, Abushafo. I hope say rather dum obia ho ye made in chia sonko abramu nyina. And na made a longer video never, but I trust say you bet my share akodrewe because I am very, very educative. Na ni nyina ne say Omai anase individuals a Bible ananya misuro eni omumu sekritosum ewu efri omai mu anase kromu ana society mu a esusanso obey ena de brenipa na so he emaya ya omu da screen isu ya de owo left no ye friend no Bonnie Blue ena de owo right no ye friend no Lily Phillips omu nyina efri UK United Kingdom na de owo left Bonnie Blue no oko viral ena omu mienu nyina eko viral but Bonnie Blue no ni viral ni nyina okoro nyina ne say watimini mema 1057 and etimada within 12 hours eno ntinu mana ko viral chese enimguasie nim ferry bia nim oko viral ba kono so oda right no Lily Phillips ono so ni mema 101 enso ada de okanyina ne say opese osan ebreki bia oni mema 1000 ebeda ono no oni mema 101 no edai within 24 hours and the one left no Bonnie Blue no oni mema 1057 that die within 12 hours. Inti mathematicians no move me aye calculations am I say how many seconds and how minutes ena obia enyaye. Inti me the comments ababa at the end of the day na mama yohunu say the consequences of secularism. Inti and that is the topic of my video, the consequences of secularism. Ti mesre say obe like me page now subscribe amame na wa share na wa drop a comment. Let us learn together and let us build this page together. I want to thank you in advance. Stay through to the end. You will be very educated and you'll be entertained as well. Thank you very much.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturiser was good for your skin.
The big 1,000 was completely done. So it started off, I'll give you a bit of an overview. After to start with, it was just like the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle like that.
About 1,000 men's inside of you today.
Yeah.
What hurts more, your mouth or your...
Probably down there a little bit. I don't need a wheelchair, like I am fine. Just feels like I've had a heavy day in the bedroom, which is exactly what I've had. I think if it had continued how it did for the first sort of 3-4 hours, I would have struggled.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people. There we go.
How many Indian guys?
Quite a specific question, that. We don't really track race, so unsure.
I don't know. I had one guy from Turkey, I remember that, because he was asking me to guess where I was from. You look sad. No, I'm just reading your comments.
Today's going to take, because I feel like the first few hours isn't busy, and then as it goes on, it'll get more busy.
The big 1,000 was well and completely done.
Is that going to come in this week out?
Got ran through by 101 men, and my eyes are still recovering from all the bodily fluids that went in them. I spent 14 consecutive hours getting ran through, and now I'm going to be doing 24 because I'm going to be going for the world record early February next year, I'm gonna go for 1,000. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the, I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal sex at all. In my head right now I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know. But yeah, I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all.
So to kind of set the scene, I'd finished a 14-hour slog of a very hard and stressful day. It was then extremely overwhelming because as soon as I finished, I didn't really think I even got time to shower or eat or anything. There was a camera crew there filming me and kind of, you know, prodding me with questions about the day and everything like that. And it was very overwhelming. And obviously, like I talked about in the doc, it was also coming from a place of like, I felt like I did a disservice to some of the guys, in the fact that, you know, we promised a service of 5 minutes and some of them I had to cut short because we just weren't going to get them all in, to be honest. So yeah, that was kind of where it came from. And obviously it was just very intense. Like it was a very stressful day. And then there's a camera crew all of a sudden appear and asking me questions for an hour about how everything went and just, you know, kept kind of prodding me. So the whole reason why we actually did the 100 was like a dry run for the 1,000. That was kind of the idea, because I have a love for like gangbangs, group scenes, things like that. And, you know, after about 6-7 months of shooting porn, I was a bit like, it's all samey. You know, it's not very unique or anything like that. And I wanted to do something exciting for me because, you know, this is what I love at the end of the day. I was just like, I want to challenge myself a little bit. And I came up with the idea of maybe breaking the world record when they got to doing their 5 minutes. And they got their 5 minutes and then they got dressed after. And that took so much time, and you know, that's something we've definitely changed. Everyone's got to be undressed from bottom half down, ready to go. This time we're also going to have like fluffers, like girls who are there just predominantly for oral to get the guys ready and hard for me. So that will save so much time as well. I found it really hard, the conversing. You know, these guys have supported me for a while. They've, you know, talked to me on the internet, they've seen me, and I want to give number 1 and number 100 the same energy. And so it's hard to stay really high energy throughout 14 hours of a really long, stressful day.
Well, I'm going to do 1,000 next.
But can you understand like how silly that sounds?
I just think it would be a laugh. It would be a laugh.
Is it? But
I just think it's kind of iconic. Like I've never seen anyone. I mean, no one's ever like, what is it? Quadruple digits amount of people in one day.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm up because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach
4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys. Now this is going to be a ticketed event, so make sure you follow for more details. I want you to be a part of this. I want to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in one day.
Logistically, how long are you going to spend with each man?
In out, I'm hoping a couple seconds at most. We're hoping for some other girls there, make it a bit of an event that the guys actually want to come to and enjoy, and you know, they don't just get 2 seconds, they get a little bit longer. So I started doing porn a year ago now, and I just loved it so much, and I think my porn was getting quite mundane, and that's when I decided to kind of ramp it up and do some challenges. I'm doing what I love and what I enjoy and making a career out of it, so what's wrong with that, you know? I'm going to be going for the world record early February next year. I'm going to go for 1,000. Girls, please send your husbands and boyfriends my way. I really need them to help break this world record of being with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, I've just pinned the poster on how to apply, so please send them my way. I have now just pinned the poster on how to apply for the record-breaking 1,000 guys in 24 hours on my Twitter, so head on over to there if you want to be a part of it. If you want to be a part of breaking a world record, I have now pinned a poster on my Twitter on how to apply to be one of the 1,000 guys to be with me in 24 hours. If you want to be at my next meet and greet, I have just pinned the poster on how to apply on my Twitter, and I tell you now, if you apply, you're getting to hit because everyone is. President Bop here. If you want to be at my next meet and greet, I've just pinned a poster on my Twitter for how to apply.
Tell us how you are going to break the world record for sleeping with the most men in one day.
Well, it's actually brothers that are going to help me. I'm trying to get 1,000 guys in 24 hours. My plan kind of is it needs to be a room with 2 doors is what we're trying to work out. Like, the logistics of this is insane, because one thing, it's hard enough getting 1,000 guys together. It's another thing actually like making sure they all do it in the time limit. So honestly, I'm just hoping for like a conveyor belt of like, they need to kind of like walk in the room, one pump in, one pump out, and then leave.
What's the current world record though?
It's 919. But I want to get to 1,000 because like 900 is weak. You may as well have got to 1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 24 hours though.
This is why I'm training. I've done the 100. I'm doing 300 in like a few weeks.
It's like a boxing match.
It really is. It really is. But I think as long as they're in, out, it's going to be pretty quick. I think I'll get sore towards the end, but I think I've got the right determination just to be able to push on.
So are you still planning to do what I've called the 1,000 man challenge?
The man challenge. Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my assistant's currently going through the 5,000 applications we have. They'll be getting, honestly, as quick as possible, in, out. I just want a conveyor belt. We're maybe thinking most it'll be 17 hours.
So I saw the video of after you did the 100.
Yeah.
And you actually seemed quite distressed.
It was very stressful. I was extremely overwhelmed. A super long, hard, stressful day. And then a camera crew probing me with questions for an hour. You know, that was kind of, if I'm honest, I wish I'd kind of set a boundary, because that was kind of the last thing I wanted, was just someone hammering me with questions after completing a really long, hard day. It's personally not how I would have told the narrative or how I would have edited it, but it definitely made for a very interesting watch.
But again, these are the moments. The cameras went right in and asked her how she felt about accomplishing 100 men in one day.
It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard.
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry. It's okay. Just take 1 minute.
So that right there is the real Lily Phillips. And I want to be clear, this documentary maker, the guy next to her, I think his name is Josh Peters, absolute monster to be documenting that. I mean, you just have to be guided by basic principles of morality. And to see her breaking down like that and to be playing the part as if he's her friend and really wanting to understand, oh, she's a bit overwhelmed right now. Oh, is that shocking for you to hear too, Josh Peters, that this 23-year-old young woman who's making a massive mistake and you're, instead of trying to guide her away from it, wanting to capture it?
Or you could be the girl who everyone knows, who can't have a child that goes to school without people making fun of them. I mean, imagine having a son and they say, like, you know, your mom's on the internet, I watched her get by 100 men, you know, or a daughter, you know, something which is just like, it's so precious, that relationship between a mother and their daughter, you know, like your mother should want to guide you in that way and say, like, this is the path that you could have. Like, your future could be amazing, and you're giving it up for, this is not, by the way, fame, it's infamy. You know, you're establishing yourself as someone who's going to be infamous. It's going to pass so quickly. The money's going to be in your bank account, and then there's going to be the next girl trying to one-up it, and no one's going to care anymore. You're going to fade into irrelevancy, but you're never going to have a normal relationship, and that's what your mother should be telling you if she actually loves you.
But what then would you suggest my mother does? Like,
try to talk you out of it. Like a mom is supposed to guide their children when they're doing decisions like that and say, listen, I understand you may think this is that, or you may think it's this way, but you're a beautiful young girl. You have your entire future ahead of you. You have two parents that love you. You know, you could marry a man and raise children and have a happily ever after. Or you could be the girl who everyone knows, who can't have a child that goes to school without people making fun of them. I mean, imagine having a son and they say, like, you know, your mom's on the internet, I watched her get by 100 men, you know, or a daughter, you know, something which is just like, it's so precious, that relationship between a mother and their daughter, you know, like your mother should want to guide you in that way and say, like, this is the path that you could have. Like, your future could be amazing, and you're giving it up for, this is not, by the way, fame, it's infamy. You know, you're establishing yourself as someone who's going to be infamous. It's going to pass so quickly. The money's going to be in your bank account, and then there's going to be the next girl trying to one-up it, and no one's going to care anymore. You're going to fade into irrelevancy, but you're never going to have a normal relationship, and that's what your mother should be telling you if she actually loves you.
I just wondered, I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the 5 guys from? The 5 guys. I didn't know if there was like a special room or you can take me out back.
No, I don't think that's happening.
What about after your shift? I mean, I'd want to give you, you know, a good rating.
I'm a Christian man and I'm saving myself to marriage.
I'm asking for what's on the menu, that's all.
Genuinely, I feel like I'm doing it right now. I can hand you a menu if you want.
Are you on it?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Okay, so this girl Lily went viral for sleeping with 100 men in one day. And after it's all over, she's interviewed and shocker, she's sad. She claims she disassociated and she only remembered 10 of the men at most. But here's the kicker. She chose this. So no, I'm not here to feel bad for her. But what does this say about the culture that we've created? I want to talk about the men involved. Some were upset that the encounters only lasted 2 to 3 minutes instead of the promised 5. And this is where we're at now. Men treating women like disposable objects and women choosing to disconnect just to fit into some twisted version of freedom. And that freedom, in my opinion, it's the pill's legacy. Birth control promised sex without consequences, but the cost is clear. Detached, empty experiences with zero emotional depth. This isn't about slut shaming. It's about showing what happens when we erase the natural consequences of sex. The pill didn't empower women at all. It separated them from the meaning and responsibility that once came with intimacy. Now we have a culture where people sleep around for validation, or I guess to set some sort of record, not connection. And let's be real, this is the direct result of what we've been sold. So no sympathy here, but this is the world the pill helped create. Not entirely, but definitely played a big part. And it should be a wake-up call for all of us.
You know why a lot of men laugh at women and treat us like we're idiots? Okay, no, they're not dicks. Majority of men have to deal with women like this. I'm sorry with disrespect, but if majority of men today have to choose to have the mother of their children, to build a life with you, to build a career with you, that you both can build something together for the future, to have a life with you, and you need to deal with somebody that have so many mental issues and so many body count, why would they do it? They'd rather be alone. They
Because don't give a shit what men think.
I can't hear this and I'll tell you why. You are mother to children. You're sitting here in the podcast saying, oh, I'm a baby girl, I'm a slave. I don't want to hear this shit. because literally you disrespecting your kids. You are a mother before you are for yourself. You are a mother before you're something in this world. Your baby and your kid is the most important thing. You're supposed to protect them, love them, and protect them. It's not put yourself out there and talk about their mother like that, because you're humiliating them. I'm embarrassed as a woman to sit in a table with a woman like you.
A lot of things will be hard for you to comprehend. That's why you're in sex work, because you can't offer value in the marketplace.
What the
And don't worry, I'm not really talking to you. I'm speaking against you as a symbol.
A symbol of what?
A symbol of a declining society where people lack values. So the point is this. If you had IQ and skills to offer to the marketplace, you can earn a good income. Being that the most valuable thing about you is something that you never earned. You didn't earn knowledge, you didn't earn skills. It's your breast that you're paid for and your butthole. So you market that to earn money, which is to say, if I took your brain and placed your brain into a man's body, you would be in poverty.
I'm just good for nothing. Yep, you comment.
No, you are good for something. That's why you have OnlyFans. And that's my point, is that that's what you're good for.
Steve Turner, the brilliant English journalist, writing sarcastically and with a touch of humor about what secularization has actually done, penned these brilliant words. We believe now in Marx, Freud, and Darwin. We believe everything is okay as long as you don't hurt anyone, to the best of your definition of hurt and to the best of your definition of knowledge. We believe in sex before, during, and after marriage. We believe in the therapy of sin. We actually believe that adultery is fun. We only believe that taboos are taboo. We believe that everything is getting better despite evidence to the contrary. The evidence must be investigated, and you can prove anything with evidence. We believe there's something in horoscopes, UFOs, and bent spoons. Jesus was a good man, just like Buddha, Muhammad, and ourselves. He was a good moral teacher, although we think some of his good morals were basically bad. We believe that all religions are basically the same, at least the ones that we read were. They all believe in love and goodness. They only differ on matters of creation, sin, heaven, hell, God, and salvation. We believe that after death comes the nothing, because when you ask the dead what happens, they say nothing. If death is not the end, and if the dead have lied, then it's compulsory heaven for all, excepting perhaps Hitler, Stalin, and Genghis Khan. We believe in Masters and Johnson. What's selected is average, what's average is normal, what's normal is good. We believe in total disarmament. We believe there are direct links between warfare and bloodshed. Americans should beat their guns into tractors, and the Russians would be sure to follow. We believe that man is essentially good. It's only his behavior that lets him down. This is the fault of society. Society is the fault of conditions. Conditions are the fault of society. We believe that each man must find truth that is right for him, and reality will adapt accordingly. The universe will readjust. History will alter. We believe there is no absolute truth, accepting the truth that there is no absolute truth. We believe in the rejection of creeds and the flowering of individual thought. And then he puts this postscript. If chance be the father of all flesh, disaster is his rainbow in the sky. And when you hear state of emergency, sniper kills 10, youths go looting, bomb blasts school, it is but the sound of man worshipping his maker. If chance be the father of all flesh, disaster is his rainbow in the sky. And when you hear state of emergency, sniper kills 10, youths go looting, bomb blast school, it's but the sound of man worshipping his maker. If you're the random product of time plus matter plus chance, out of flux, nothing but flux, out of a deterministic primordial soup comes nothing more than just a chemical determinism, how do we even talk about violence and evil? In what terms do we define them? It was Friedrich Nietzsche who said since God had died in the 19th century, the 20th century would become the bloodiest century in history. We killed more people in the 20th century in warfare than the previous 19 centuries put together. My daughter, Naomi, works in rescuing women and children from the sex trafficking industry. She burned out on it. So young, she just burned out. The lady who first started to work with her in Bangkok was from New Zealand. She burned out and left. And this high burnout rate of seeing what is done to women in this trade and in this industry. And she said to me, Dad, in almost every case that I see, the men who use this and are involved in it are men who first got trapped into it in the pornography industry, and she's been pleading with me for quite a while to write a book on it. I said, I really don't even want to get my mind into that kind of sordid stuff. She said, I'll write on what is happening out there. You write on what it is intended to be like. We have to get it out there. She says, I don't think the average man knows what he does to his wife, to his spouse, when he is trapped in this kind of wickedness. It shatters the image of a young bride or a young woman when she finds that she's replaced by pictures of somebody else. C.S. Lewis dealt with this idea, and so here's this pornographer justifying this. But you see, here's what I want to say to you. When that woman sits in front of the lens of a camera, purely for this exploitation and using her body this way, something within her ought to cause her to raise her arms up and says, stop all of this. I can't do this anymore. But the reason she won't is because when secularization has done the damage that it is going to do, it will produce a generation without a sense of shame. That's what we are looking at. In the secularized consciousness, a total lack of shame. I say to you, young people, young men, what C.S. Lewis said, shame is like a scalding drink. If you touch it, it'll burn you, but you drink it of a cup properly, and it'll nourish and ultimately do what it is intended to do. Shame is intended to bring you and me to a point of recognizing we are sinners before God and need to be forgiven. Shame is a legitimate expression. Our society is now bereft of shame, where we glory in the wrong and condemn in the right and think we are now called progressives.
Hello, Bushafon. Ti say na mo here no. On say ekwan bi so no ayawra husempa. Yawra husempa. You just imagine senka sa ma ye afmofefo yi. Senka omo ye onua ba anasa wo fa sibia. Just imagine. And you know, this is how the society has gotten to. Now, my listening maybe me pese ye discuss our near AC koso wo ye wiase mu. Say an start you see Western world hanum no me a Christopher pa like 1,000 years ago, and I say be a plus almost better 1,600 years in Europe and another Western world, you know, a Christopher until Oma Christopher till Omo ancestors, no, they were very, very like Christian. Na Oma for Bible no serious. Until Omuchre, Omoma, Omoma, so Bachelor, Omoma, but Edru, yeah, generation, so and I say, bear 60 years, and I 50 years, Erbano, and I feel they say, Omofa. Kisosum ensada nyehwe sa say ahanum emaya ene ememua dodo na no omunim babia omu left and that from omu right na he say abaya way anase maya way say we want to break record no nyese omu ya de papa bio but say one emema beda 1,000 men ba kono say no na ye 1,000 men na opese oni omuda boni blue no but mema na baya no onya 1,000 we no na akabe say 57 ewa chire tinese say osan so ni omuye bibi nti ono no de ne ye 1,057 men and ono mu die within 12 hours and Lily Phillips no so no oni mema 101 ada within 24 hours but ono so pesa ono so ye 1,000 no ono so e di breaky record bi o pesa o di breaky. Just imagine na reho some say oyenso na amanfo ebo mu nsema no na amanfo ebo na baso enim guasie ayira ewo abrochiri hanom nkro bebre so enim guasie ayira amanfo ni shame biem on say eno bi na say eba ye my Ghana mu no yenti am yes video we ni say yenom na ye Christopher na ye wo Ghana no ana say say uni Ghana kwa na wa kwantum tisemia bi pese wo hunu niam e koso ewo amaman bi mu na ye nsua lessons na ye mfa bi enkochichire ye kuro say dem kan ye no say ye say so what say ana say koto say ejato obi abodwusema na wa sensu de esi wode ho na ka me de madwe chinam say be ye krompa abodwuse no menyina no like trim it papa so twitwa na say abodwuse no krompo no emfiri ho say de be ya eja no emetom kra e ba ne say na society na time drew that level say oba say unfair say obetimama mema 1,000 and another for free you will not pay anything free na ye blemu man so no ne sa blame mema no so say enti wo bema no pa se won so se suban pa enya insilitrasia eba ne say na unim se adwuma sei na oba ne sei oba be ye oni nipa 1000 na eba be hia adenti na onso utimi kobi enti no ye blame ema ye na ye blame emema no so we are all at fault. This is how our society has gotten to. Enti no me ka we nyina na ye de asua bebi se die enti ya se esese Christopher eruli oman no ne se Europe hanom ne sei unim how a starte ye omu yi Bible free school dem enti na fe de nkura ko school a ye nkire omu Bible biom me kai se Ghana minim se da so ho a me ko Ghana na me ko primary school no every I think say Tuesday bio say Wednesday bia yakoya morning devotion school ni nyina akoya morning devotion na yakosua nyame asem na yesanso ye religious and moral education na yesua Bible na yesua we obaka se ho ni mfaso enso ho mfaso pa enum pokora Ghana no na omukyere that time no still na ebidi bone school fo ni bitimi nyenyem ebitimi kobo adwaman ebitimi ye nima bebre but enye kora na eye but abrochire ha no de Bible ni ha o omu nkyere Bible ewo schools mo omu nka nyame asem ewo schools mo omu say like nyame bia ni ho enye nyame bia na bo soro nipa na free enu mu na enu so free bacteria mu na bacteria so free like time and matter and space like enema omu kika no nyansa bia nim and so eno no ma kire san for over 50 years over 60 years enti amaya ni bo ho ma they don't believe say nyame kra ho oba be pa na ogidi say nyame wo ho na nyame bebu atan na ni nipadua Nyankopon asori dan pa obeye ne oye onye da na bema ben so pa no nso gidi se nyame bebu atan pa onim se oba no koya ade bi se obekwa kwa support no bema nso enko support no enti you just imagine and just think about it say ye mo ye kuru Ghana ho ban say on saka say video we na o akwantum ti say me wa akwantum yi and our Ghana kura it doesn't matter we should make sure say we teach our country the Bible hanum say Bible ni ha umayi Bible free ha na say eyakokamia ye say so we Bible free baby na say nyansa ye free kronim we Bible free ho ani nyansa ye free kronim but I know say obi beka say na say ndekisosum enyamaye no ne nananom enim nyame dada sometimes na manfo ka we ya yana dodo na no omunim ne omoka mia menemo ka say me santini na so menim say na bakasom kire say na yen asantifo no yane amanfo other tribes no ekon and na other tribes no so be any ekon like we were all fighting among ourselves and until yedin asantifo no comes from osanti for enti na yane obia ekon e Ghana other tribes any ye bekon yen so any other tribes ekokon tribes bia wo slaves na tribes bia nya slaves na ye kontokwa krampa ebu onma ye kokon yetimi komunipa se konfo se komunipa ansa na kokon na watimi edin kunim konfo no che no mani wemu se nyame se komunipa nyame be na kan asasam no kire wo no nyame be na ka kire konfo no je se ansa na ye kokon ansa na ebedin kunim no ye komunipa ansa bible nyankopon no onkan kire obi ase on komunipa menim se obi beka se jefta de no ba jefta de no enye nyame na kan se on kokono aye ono ano se mekoye mekona mekodin kunima president meku meba and I am thinking say because nyame kura kan say onya krampa anya de so obeja nyame na ka kire obi ase obi nkokum obi se de be ya okokun anase bibia obedi nkonim nyame nkasa sam no nkire obi a enso na yana nanom no say nyankopon na ka kire komfo say komfo enka nkire omu say omu nkum nipa enti ne yana nanom no na omu idea say nyame bi but no omu nim nyame kro they didn't know which God enti na mfanza Ghana hanum efie bia na almost efie bia bosum wom so hono enti no e wo se ye de Bible no back ya metatie obi ti se Abraham be Moshe ene sa mfanza common sense for no I wish that Anglophone they really knew what common sense was. They don't know what common sense is. And so no mu gina ho se ai se ebreso panes nka omo ehun tumi ni ho ahode on be Bible every school mo. This guy is controlled by demons and I know that he doesn't know that. Eti abrochire ha no saa na start ye yempene ema won kire Bible everybody is for himself obi amfa na religion eti de omuye edikan no omuyi Bible free school dem and afen so abonten omo say enka nyamesem ewa abonten enti abrochire baabi binom say no se okogina ho say ka nyamesem na ka Bible one here please ebeba becho UK say ayo west okogina abonten say ka nyamesem a one here please ebeba ba becho aje se bia mo dotso dia ene betima boamo ba se o ye baako ana mienu na okogina kona bi se o prechi obi be free police ama police abechi usesi e abrochiri hanum so sa babia mewei eni Canada so sa baby bebre okogina ho a na nyame omo a please ebe wa becho omu yi nyamesom ene bible sem efri abonten enso so omu timi koye gay parade na gay for hye friends boxer shorts g strings bo okronpa na hye no omu timi omu de wa abonten but so ye kristoni na o ye o de wa abonten a omu empene ema wonye na omu san etwetwe me fan say nyamesom en na kristosom they ridicule Christianity, they mock Christianity na afi de to so the human rights, freedom, I have my own right if say me hamu obia it is my right enti gender no gender for any LGBTQ for honom na efri bae so no na my right enti gender for any rainbow society ne LGBTQ for honom na efri bae my right enti omo a lot of emphasis echo sa my right and so ene kenya western world babia abedro na sa de ma we nyina de de koba ne say and I said the end result ne say many pa enye shameful biom na say nipa feel the sense of shame biom ade bia na nipa ye no onfa ho ne anim guase wo de hwe Ghana say hwe oma omunye a Christopher no wo de hwe de wi a omusi dress menka say a Christopher ye soro abofo but say obi a onye Christo ni no wo de hwe how a omusi dress wo de hwe a friend say menka say obi a oye asori koni o on say ye wa asori koni ene wo Christo ni obo no kwa asori na so onye Christo ni obi betuma ye sofo betuma ye elder obetuma ye chorister enso na onye Christo ni okwa asori but ona onye a friend the Christo ni woko abontia na ye me fan say ebia from the programs be our abontia street so na any jail street so omo bonyom ni ade a wo de hwede wi a ebi mu si dressing ebi mu timi dressing na ase oba no brazia mum na ye na tare on shatare wo soro brazia obo onso a na ebia skirt kitikiti bi na ise na sene ferie e free ni pemu the moment abu se ferie e free ni pemu no anase obi mu no that person is very dangerous because it means onim krate nyame bi o hono ma nyame bi de atemu abeba so hono enti sa na te but arahosem ne say ase sa kankan any proye like moral decadency a does wo English speaking countries no like and I said the Anglophone nations no ase omomu de no I say how de agensem UK crampo de agensem UK and US any we find Australia mo the New Zealand mo any those kind of English speaking countries no there menim de ntia omo de no there I say too much menim say Europe no babia say western world no babia say but sir English speaking countries no there I say too much America any di baby any UK na me sense wa ka bi mu say he menim say wo Ghana wa gbe o say abrofo eye nipa chen blacks abrofo nye nipa chen ye da abrofo omo nye nipa chen ye da but say me kan no mu nananom eye Christopher no mu nananom no mu ye Christopher serious Christians enti no obi nyobi bone enti omo de tete omuma omuma so de betete omuma omuma de betete omuma sa over 1600 years ni the western world has been Christian people so hono eno enti no ema omo dwene mu bie hwe obi bia onim nyame asem na osua bible anase ode bible ye adwuma no na dwene mu bie na dwene mu ebie ohunu nyansa enti ma abrofo no hunu nyansa mo enei na omato bible atwene no hwe jimi a ebi mu jimi Jimmy ebi mu jimi sa abaya mayai enniema omoye menim say wo Ghana na oti sa se mo ekura like wan ye krampa efie krampa be gina obo abaya ne ba ko o maame na ye ne manager o maame na e manage no oye only fans ma manfo ne be dida e ma na expose ne ho ne maame na ye ne manager ahanum no obi ntimi kan chiro be say dia wo ye enyo human rights I have my own right obia and the right inti sa na hanum de no akwa ye inti no these are some of the things na say eye na me hu ha na me yem hwehwe me ema me my Ghana na me pese me ye bibi say de be ya me create awareness no ema ye ne aye wo Ghana na mo Ghana no na mo hu say I see a protected Christianity in Ghana because Christianity say ewu na free Ghana de beba no enye asamketwa ema Ghana fo en na nwene da say oh Ghanaians de yem pentokwa Ghanaians yem pentokwa na ye nananom tete fo na no mu ko na asantefo ni we ko na we ni we ko no na nye Ghana fo na tribes na the tribal war achem ni we mu na we so ni we na we ni we na ye ko na ya buru ye ho no na nye Ghana fo ya kudita a esi wo Ghana send Ghana ye nya kudita ye nya kura at least 2 times enya Ghana fo na Entiana amamfo because oh Ghanaians they young one. They don't know say it is because of Christianity. Look at the way a deep was born Paya Magana. Look at the way a soft was born Paya Magana. Etinyame tie a Christ of one Bible and Christians are the majority in Ghana, you know. Unyame tie a Christ of one Bible. Ne radi etikaji no a free amanie ene ohawmu. Said the bear or mine benya sumje. Enti emo bin tena hoda enka say oh Ghanaians die ye die yempentokwa. Aya yani akoso coup d'etat no. Yen ene akoso coup d'etat edi tu Kwame Nkrumah. Yen akoso coup d'etat edi kunkum amanfo. Look at Avenger June 4th ana. June 4th was saying look at military no, look at Nkrofo a omobo mutu kun. Enya Ghana for na. Enti no, let us stop thinking say Ghanaians de yanko. It is because of Christianity. Say yam promote Christianity ewo omani mu a. Enema ebeye basa na I know say obi so baka say Islam. Oh, they make more videos about Islam. People don't know what they are talking about. Argentina, most of the Muslim countries, no, there are exceptions. Exceptions, no, crampo, no, exceptions. And most of the Muslim countries, no, no ma ensure any freedom, sir. No ma ensure any rights, sir. No ma rights, no, enru a mema dear. Okay, na ebra Europe, ene ama might be no more Western world, hano. Omuja is slavery, no. Na Arab world, hodia, okwa still, no. Nanka ubenya slaves oho no se okwa nanka still ubenya slaves oho wonim say Arabs for no omo fa more slaves crampo chain Western world for no Arab for far more slaves chain abrofo no and so then I call Arab world hodom na blacks anyhow wonim de ntia they castrated the men omo castrate mema no se be mema no ntimi reproduce abrofo no de omo be fa blacks no omo an castrate black no male blacks no because no mo pese slaves no ewo no munya more slaves enti no blacks no eware omo ho ewo wo enti na abrochire blacks edaso ho no ba wo call Arab world ho no na blacks ni ho they castrated all of them okay and so the way enyem na make if you read all the history books na ewo ho and I'm going to make a lot of videos on that and I'm going to educate people say it can't be Islam, it can't be our traditional religion because Islam no there's no freedom sir. And a traditional religion no and also no we were fighting ourselves. Gagomba for any way moko. Sabre ya what make us say enyana ebrede north hodom no baby no entokwa ewo hodom no ade no Ghanaians enyana esirim hodom no entokwa temisi no bia kwatwa ohine biti na we dia boy ni na we ni dia boy ni. If you leave us to our traditional religion now we will be killing ourselves, we will be fighting ourselves. It takes Christianity. And this is why we need to protect and defend Christianity. Enti our lessons ewomu ema Ghana. The lessons ni nyina say we must protect Christianity. Say ya church the Bible ewo your schools nim na ye adwen say oh Bible no hu hia Bible hu hia for society. One na bia as an individual no obaka say bia Bible hu hia ema me. But as a society the Bible is necessary. And it's ama ya shamelessly no omutimi ka say ye ne mema 1000 ada. And so they will come out like omunya no me fan say omunya no secret o. Say we are say there boni ewo ho ye di boni ala manfo bebre e di boni but manfo no a omudi boni no omudi was secret omuma manfo enhunu but say enim guasie timi free nipa adwene mu to the point say okodi boni esan be kan wa bontia. That is very dangerous. And you know this is the information and I'm a person made ebremo na yania ya doya man Ghana na ya pay man no empumtuo na ya sanso do Christo na ya pe Christo say e be hini oh my Ghana mo no video when person ya de ebremo na I hope say e be information e de amaye the patch share ma obi a oyo down for na ontie bi na onhunu e kwan tie say ya protect Christianity oh my Ghana mo na bo modern na subscribe to my channel no mame na like video no drop a comment na if possible so I hit the notification bell so that be post any new one be obetimi enya alert no Mr. Oshema manfo nso entimi enhunu bi na omonso enya educated. I want to thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Is because when secularization has done the damage that it is going to do, it will produce a generation without a sense of shame.
Thank you for watching. Kindly consider subscribing to my channel, hit the like button, share, drop a comment, and hit the notification bell so you could be notified anytime we post a new video. Also consider following me on other social media platforms with the same handle, BluntGhana. We hope you will do that. Thank you.